For any returning viewers, if you're wondering why I'm suddenly in my room again, by my background, if you can't tell, this next clip should, let you know. Just take a quick peek. Earl. And now that you've seen that, and now that you understand, let's get into the actual review. Hi, my name is Snow, and after a small break that involved binge playing multiple games like Red Dead 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog,
you ugly bastard,
as well as watching shows like Shit with the Princess of Power and Arcane, I am back to review my favorite character for one of my favorite pieces of media. Today we're looking at the S.H.Figuarts Krillin, the early years figure, aka it's Kid Krillin from Dragon Ball. And reviewing this figure gives me a chance to talk about one of my favorite franchises of all time. Krillin is from a manga series called Dragon Ball that began publishing in 1984, and it basically broke pop culture.
Oh, your money!
Created by the man, the myth, the legend, Akira Toriyama, may he rest in peace. The series crawled into the hearts and souls of millions and is deeply ingrained in the childhoods of many. Not to mention it's the main inspiration of many shows today.
美味しいサンドイッチもあるわよ。
It even inspired some elements of Sonic the Hedgehog. Supersonic? That's clearly a knockoff of Super Saiyan. My childhood was no different. While I never grew up with cable TV that had Dragon Ball on it, unfortunately, I did have several Dragon Ball DVDs that I watched on repeat. Though for some reason, they weren't like full arcs of the show, and like only 3 episode segments. So for the most part, all I knew about Dragon Ball for a time was that Vegeta kept getting his ass kicked. And to be fair, that's pretty much the entire series. 3 of the DVDs out of the 4 my family owned had Vegeta getting his ass beat every single time. We also owned a few episodes of Dragon Ball GT, specifically the episode with Legic. Legic to this day has to be one of my favorite designs from Dragon Ball. My family also owned The History of Trunks, which has to be one of the most depressing films I ever saw as a child. The scene where Trunks grieves over Gohan's death and finally becomes a Super Saiyan has really stuck with me since then. But with long-winded explanations aside, does the actual figure hold up to the very, very special art style that Akira Toriyama had? Well, I'm happy to say that the painting and sculpting on this figure is amazing, which seems to be a very common trend on the S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball line of figures. Their other figures?
What's up with it, motherfucker?
Not so much. Then again, that's like comparing Van Gogh to dog shit, national tragedies, laughably bad CGI. I'll save that mini rant for when I review this fent-folding fuck. The one complaint I have about the sculpting is Krillin's massive, gigantic, ever-expanding queso excuse for a head. It's too heavy, which makes it extremely difficult to pose it in any way besides standing straight up, which is why the figure comes with an included stand, which is extremely rare for an S.H.Figuarts line figure to have. Most times you only get 2 pairs of hands, maybe some alternate faceplates, and you'll have spent $100 on shit that doesn't come with a lot of accessories. The stand holds the figure pretty well. Important to note that there is some slight assembly required for this. The clamp part of the stand actually comes attached on runners, so if you're not somebody who frequents building model kits and you don't have nippers handy, you're fucked. Besides from the stand, you get 2 alternate heads, one with a shit-eating grin expression, and 1 yelling face. Like I mentioned before, S.H.Figuarts figures come with like 50 sets of hands usually, and this one's no different. Besides the fists that come attached to the figure, you have a set of peace sign hands, claw hands, open hands, a single grabby hand, and at first I thought the single grabby hand was to hold the 5-star Dragon Ball that comes with this figure, but it doesn't, and I almost lost the Dragon Ball. It is very tiny and can roll and bounce. Try not to lose it. What it definitely can hold is his rock.
A rock? That's it? That's such a fucking stupid accessory to include.
Silence, you picky bitch. This rock actually has a bit of story relevance in Dragon Ball. We've seen when Goku and Krillin first go to training with Master Roshi, he presents him with a challenge. Find a rock that he had written the Kami symbol on within 30 minutes or go hungry for the night. Goku finds the rock first before Krillin begins. Yada, 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 yada. We don't care about all that, alright? It was in the show for like 15 seconds. Now, for the last pair of hands that I was purposely saving to show at the very end of this little segment. The Kame hands, which allows you to post Krillin charging up a Kamehameha. Or a Kamehameha wave for those of you who haven't touched a real butt. Kamehameha! It's not as cool as when I do it. As much as I love Krillin, not as cool when he does the Kamehameha. If only I had a Goku for... Unfortunately for you, you missed all of my vital organs.
All of them?
Size comparison. Figma Mako, Earthrise Prime, Kingdom Megatron. And S.H.Figuarts Goku, a Saiyan raised on Earth. This figure is extremely small, which makes sense. He is a child, though he's not much taller as an adult. Now you expect a certain level of posability for a figure connected to Dragon Ball, considering the many high-action, insane fights in this franchise, which this figure certainly does not disappoint. Head can look up that far and down that far, head can swivel, arms can rotate, no elbow swivel, but the entire arm can, so it doesn't bother me that much. Bend at the elbow, hand can move up and down, hand can swivel, ab crunch, can't lean that far back, we'll touch on that in a second. Chest can swivel, waist can swivel, the ribbons on the belt can rotate. Not on individual joints or even cloth, to be fair, that's really just a nitpick. And if this entire figure was in real cloth, I feel like that would cause more issues than anything. Due to how the waist is constructed, the figure can actually lean back, just not conventionally. Told you we'd touch on that. Beautiful spread. Leg can move up that far and back that far. Thigh swivel, bend at the knee swivel, swivel up the foot, can also move up and down, and a slight bend at the toe. Despite how small this figure is, it has an insane amount of posability. I'll be honest, when I was gifted this on Christmas, like 2 years ago, I was a little worried that it would be like the other Dragon Ball figures I had. And by that I mean not as dynamic as I'd like, and with absolutely no effect parts. What the hell, Bandai? At least include a Kamehameha wave with Goku. What the fuck? I'm really seeing no issues with this figure at all, so I give it a 5 out of 5. Highly recommend this for any Dragon Ball fans looking to acquire a Krillin figure. It's a good pick, and you can add this guy at my favorite place to shop for all of my figures. The Big Bad Toy Store. Ooh. Yeah, good luck with that, fuckers. Now, the review after this one was going to be on this Johnny Storm figure I had nabbed, but unfortunately, at the time of writing, which was 3 months ago, the actual Johnny Storm I was going to collab with got kicked out of the Baxter building, and is now feasting on rats in the streets of New York. But fuck Johnny, we're gonna do something different next video. This fucking corpse will do.